Going on, everybody? It's your girl Big T, and you're watching Cloudy Conversations. What's going on, everybody? It's your girl Big T, Cloudy Conversations, and as you can see, today is going to be a little bit of a different episode. The guest is going to be nobody else than myself. This is something I've been wanting to do, transition to the other side of the camera and be a bit more vocal and speak about the process and, outside of just motivating you through other people's story, continue to show what my day-to-day or the past 5 years have looked like for us to get to this point, and a bit of a way to give us more consistent content because, in our actuality, we have slowed down a little bit, but we have not stopped. So, like I said, today's episode is going to be a little bit different. I'm hoping to, as we go forward and continue to build momentum, you guys will start to provide questions or ask questions or anything that you might have on your mind, and we'll start diving into that. But like I said, today's episode is about your girl Big T, so let's get into it. All right, so I guess the first question would be, who is Big T? I actually prefer to go by T, full name Tierra. I don't really like to go by Tierra because it makes me feel like I'm in trouble or it's really a serious situation. So preferably you can call me T, Big T. Doesn't really matter. Only Tierra when it's serious. I grew up in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. My whole life, went to Harrisburg School District, graduated from Sci Tech, spent some time at IUP. Overall, I like to look at myself as a well-rounded individual, heavy in obviously the production world and the things that I do here, but also in my relationship with God, as well as, I do work a full-time job. So just trying to work every avenue to become the person that I'm meant to be is really my biggest goal in life. So I feel like this part of me being able to come and talk on the camera and just have this conversation by myself really couldn't have happened anytime but now, because the last 5 years have been really a learning experience in every way possible, because while I did go to school for communications media, I didn't finish, and when I finally got into that major, I ended up leaving like the next semester, so I never really fully indulged in it. So I'm really self-taught in every aspect of what you see and what we have here in the studio, to the editing, shooting, learning the equipment, and it's definitely been a process, but I wouldn't change anything up until this point, because while when I first started, I didn't have the confidence or necessarily understand a lot of things, I feel like now where I'm at is very sufficient. And of course, there's always more and ways to expand. I'm always looking to learn, but now that I have a studio and I get the chance to see other creatives running their productions and how they are on set, it really just co-signs that I was on the right track of how I think things should be ran, and then it also gives me an example of what I could be doing better, or not necessarily copying somebody's style, but somebody's always another way to learn. So having a studio these last 2 years have really helped put me in places that I really wanted to be, just from meeting different creatives and them wanting to, utilize my space, because while it is for me, I do rent it out, allow other people to use the space. It's another stream, another revenue stream. So yeah, overall, like I really kind of lost my train of thought, but Big T is just a person, a woman, an individual on a mission and really determined to make whatever comes to mind come to reality. And you're going to continue to see that throughout these next couple years. If you haven't already been witness to what I have built over the last 5 years, definitely take a deep dive. But the future is really bright, honestly, and I'm looking forward to what I'm going to show and what's going to come next. One question I have here for myself is why I created Cloudy Concepts, and I guess I kind of already answered that, but I created it because I always felt like there was something more I was meant to do. Something I was like, the things I was good at didn't necessarily relate to like being a good drawer or singer or something that you just outrightly know you're good at. I'm a good communicator. I have creative vision. I feel like another good aspect of me, of my, of myself is I don't look at problems as like necessarily for the problem. I'm solution based. I try to be a lot, and I try to think of things in a logical sense. I get emotional, which is human, but overall, that's my approach. So when it came to creating Cloudy Concepts, it really just was a no-brainer because I was mad at myself for a long time about not finishing school. And then once I transitioned to the mindset of I can just do it myself, everything started to flow. I started to not really look at my past as mistakes, but more so as a stepping stone and had to happen in order for me to get to where I'm at today. So Cloudy Concepts is really just another example of dreaming something and putting it into reality, which is no kind of pun intended of cloud and dreaming, but the goal for the new segment that we're going to go into, well, not new segment, but the new setup of the podcast is, like I was saying earlier, really for me just to put myself more out there. I'm fashionable, I like to say. People like to agree as well, I would say. I'm well spoken in the most sense, and I have a lot of things to say now. Like I was saying earlier, knew that I just had a lot to learn before I could really indulge and be on this side of the camera. So I think it's part of my responsibility now that I also gained this access and this information to start giving it back, because I give free game to anybody, honestly, especially if you've been at the studio or if you've come across me. I'm not really one to hold back because I didn't want people to hold back from me, and also me giving you a jewel doesn't take away anything from me. And I like to think that people remember those who done right by them. So I don't know what that person's future might look like in 10 years, or what my input or just congratulations or a good job or tell them to keep striving might do for them. And when they look back more, they get to where they want to be, and how they might reach back and say, T, you did this for me at this point. It was pivotal for me. I want to, you just never really know what life is going to be in the future. So I always just try to have the most positive interactions in business and day to day. And it's not always guaranteed, but even in conflict, there can be resolution that just we can agree to disagree, agree to go our separate ways. And even if it get disrespectful or get a little heated, that's cool too, because sometimes you got to put that side out. But it's really just a balancing act in that regard. We do have some guests coming up scheduled next week, actually. Probably see that in a couple episodes. So we are still going to have that dynamic of interviewing guests and having them come on and promote their work and whatnot using our platform. That's definitely still going to be key to the mission. Now, outside of the studio and everything we got going on, I guess another good thing to do would be to go back and look at some of our first projects, just as a little memory lane. and start comparing it to like where we are now. I think my laptop, I can't find the charger for it, so that sucks. So I'm gonna use the phone. Luckily, we got 2 phones. When you're in business, it's best to keep 2 phones so you can have that shit. I mean, it's my podcast, but have it separate. Podcast is also available on all streaming platforms where you listen to podcasts at, not just on YouTube. Just for those who don't know, we are everywhere. And how could I not promote that? The studio, I keep talking about it. Some of you might not have seen it. There's a link below, all on the page, everywhere. That's Cloudy Concepts, where you can go and check out either the Instagram or website and see the studio. We offer so many different things, shoot sets that you can come in and pretty much just shoot your production, bring whatever you need. You got a jail cell, green screen, this is set here. So really, if you're in the central Pennsylvania area, we're located in Mechanicsburg. Definitely stop by. Pricing is definitely reasonable. So if you need a place to shoot, come to Cloudy Concepts. But back to the review. Yeah, so the first video I ever shot was with my guy M. Wade. Again, if you've been following since the beginning, then you know we've done a couple projects together. The way that happened is because, again, I decided that I wanted to start shooting videos, start getting in the production world, and I needed somebody to help me do that. I knew Wade did music. I liked the stuff he was putting out. He's always been a heavy spitter, so I felt like it would be a mutual connection where, one, I would be comfortable with it being my first time because it's somebody I know, and then he know me because it turned out to be his first video, so it just actually worked out really well. So the first video that I shot was obviously with M. Wade and was Uptown Nights. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at some of that.
Ashy ankles.
It's funny because that's my car. Like, I use my car for so many productions. That's my brother.
Hey. Yeah.
Watching this video, it just reminds me of how much I just didn't know what I wanted to do, so I was doing everything.
Hey, I had to get in my Birkin. Hey, they call me like it, won't ever see me in person. Hey, you do that I'm taxing, nice in the bando. Yeah, don't fall in the trap, just feel like Orlando.
To this day.
When I'm whipping is matching, boy, I had to get in my Birkin. Hey, they call me like it, won't ever see me in person. Hey, you do that I'm taxing, nice in the bando. Hey, don't fall in the trap and just feel like Orlando. Hey, when I'm whipping is matching. Hey, bendo, money tall, that shit crescendo. With my girl, I swear she nympho, man, she way too much
Every
to
time I
handle.
watch
They move
some of my
corners out
older
of pocket,
stuff,
they move rock when it's a handoff. You both
I
let's
always
have a
just
standoff.
remember
Oh, you stole, let's cut your hand
that
off. Hold on, check the reactions.
I had so much potential. Like, what? This is my first
Hey,
video
get the
ever, and
waving
this is what I
is
did.
dead.
I mean, it took
Body
me a
so
while
like
to
tumbleweed.
do all
Honestly,
this,
they ain't
but
get enough of me.
nonetheless.
Somebody bring that 50 in the club with me, and by the time you
Look at
think it's
this.
over, the power in my
First
hands
video.
now when it's stuck with me. Hold on,
Come on.
I'm really good with my hands. I promise it wasn't with Play-Doh. I still just chill and record.
This laptop
Leave me
right
alone when
here,
I
the
lay
one
low.
that we did it
Boy,
on,
I
I had
done
to
built me a
upgrade,
block.
but,
You treat this shit like it's Legos. Boy, I done built me a block. You treat this shit like it's Legos.
I was really just doing whatever, bro.
They call me like it, won't ever see me in person.
Like, there was a concept,
You do that I'm
but
taxing, nice in the
as far as the
bando.
editing,
Yeah,
I was trying
don't
all
fall
the
in the trap and
effects.
just feel like Orlando. Hey, when I'm whipping is matching, boy, I had to get in my Birkin. Hey, they call me like it, won't ever see me in person. Hey, you do that I'm taxing, nice in the bando. Hey, don't fall in the trap and just feel like Orlando. Hey, when I'm whipping is matching, hey. Bendo, money, tall that shit. Hold up, my penmanship come with extendos. These niggas ain't dropping no clips. They wanna be all
Like, come on now. I see the potential, and I see, and when I watch my videos from the past, I definitely see what I could have done better.
Man, I can pitch.
Like,
All them bitches that done curve it. Always this, that, and the third. No more back and forth with
I
this.
used to move the
Now I
camera
might
way
just
too
plead the fifth.
fast.
No more back and forth with this. Man, I
And it was
might
just a
plead
lot
the
of
fifth.
running gun
Hey, I had to get in my
shots.
Birkin.
But
They call me lacking, won't ever see me in person.
overall, I feel like
He do that I'm taxing, nice in
I
the
definitely
bando.
did a great job.
Don't fall in the trap and it's feel like Orlando.
Of course, I'm gonna say that, but
When I'm whipping this
for
magic,
this
boy,
to
I had
really
to
be
get in
the
my
first
Birkin.
video I ever shot, like,
They call me lacking, won't
didn't
ever
know
see me in person.
nothing from a can of paint.
Free dude that I'm taxing, nice in the bando.
Definitely did
Don't
something
fall in the
good.
trap and it's feel like Orlando. Hey,
When I'm whipping this magic,
hey.
hey. Shout out to Wade. Still my guy to this day. That wasn't the last video we shot. It won't be the last video we shoot. So definitely leave your thoughts in the comments. Tell us how you feel. Go like and subscribe to the page if you already haven't. Definitely. Definitely. That was when I shot that video. That was something that I was super proud of. I put out. And this was early in the stage, so I was just promoting that thing for forever until I had the next project. And it got a great reception in the city. Shout out to London, a promoter, Paris London in the city. Not a promoter, excuse me, a designer, fashion designer, has his own shop down on 3rd Street, I believe, right across from Strawberry Square, excuse me. Gave us some custom clothes and for the next video based off of, what he's seen us do in that one. So, like I said, just for me, putting myself out there, people start receiving it, start wanting to be a part of it, start supporting, and it's just been that continuous thing repetitively. Like, I put out something, it gets good reception, or not even, maybe not, but somebody sees it and they want to do something with me, and it just keeps going. When I think I don't have any bookings this week, boom, something pops up. So it's really an endless thing where you just keep going, and you'll never know when you're going to have your breakthrough moment. Just keep putting that work in. That's really my advice to anybody, would just be to, if you got something you want to do, stick to it, no matter what people might say, what they might not get, how you might doubt yourself. If you really feel in your heart you're meant to do it, just stick to it. So moving forward, since we are reviewing some of our first projects, let's just see. I can't remember this, which is poor of me. Actually, I do remember. Okay, so technically the podcast was something I wanted to do, but this was another thing on the wish list. But again, when you have things on your to-do list, I should say, the world is going to create ways for that to happen. Shout out to Glowman, no longer creating music, but definitely was one of the hottest artists in the city at the time, was putting out quality music, making moves, going out to California, working with different artists, and his manager and him at the time needed an interview, and they reached out to me and asked me if I did interviews. I technically didn't at that time, but I can always do. So I told him I did, which made me have to create the Cloudy Conversations sooner than I had projected, but it turned out great. Dropped that interview. Now other people wanted to start working with me. I created the logo from it. For if you go back and see the Glowman interview, you'll see. Count it, we count it up. You are currently independent. Is the goal to get signed, or are you looking to take more of a NLE Chop or a Young Dolph route as far as being independent, but maybe getting a distribution / partnership deal with a major? Like, where's your plans with that?
Probably a distribution. I mean, like, independent's harder, you know what I'm saying? So it might take a little longer. So I guess if it get too hectic on the independent route, we'll take the distribution partnership. That way they don't have that much control of me, but I still got the backing.
The current logo isn't what we have now. I went back into the drawing board after that because I'm like, nah, that's just not really it. So I made that first one, and I made the one we have now. So that's really another example of how hands-on I am. I'm setting up the lights, I'm setting up the cameras, I'm preparing the interview questions, I'm doing the research to even have quality interview questions, so it's not just a dull interview, and people are getting their money's worth and things like that. and the viewer is also intrigued, because while you might not know this person, if somebody has an interesting story, you're going to continue to watch it, just the same way we do with documentaries about people we never heard, or an interview on Good Morning America. It works the same way, and it hits a little different when it's a local community or somebody who actually is around you, so it makes you feel like, again, this could be me. Which is another goal of mine. Just continue to show people what we see isn't far-fetched and isn't hard to grasp or obtain. So, all right. So, yeah, one thing that I did want to do is a business spotlight. And what other business to spotlight other than Cloudy Concepts as the first one? As I said earlier, we have a studio located in Mechanicsburg, Pennsylvania. We're really service central Pennsylvania, but we travel. Anything is possible in this production world. Don't limit yourself. But if you are in the area, definitely come through the studio. If you need commercials, photography, music videos, really anything involving a camera and production, I am your girl. I do it all. I don't limit myself to anything. I like to think I do very well at them all as a result of the client's booking. So, yeah, Cloudy Concepts is a full service production company. We've been in business for 5 years, been having the studio for 2 years. We're going to continue to expand. We're looking to have multiple locations and really be a company where people come to us because they can trust that their project and their vision is going to be done correctly. Our slogan is Elevate the Vision for a reason, because that's really what we look to do. I came up with that as well. So yeah, Cloudy Concepts, your girl Big T, whatever you need, come to me. All right. It's weird interviewing myself because now it's like, how do I close? But I guess in closing, tune into next week's episode, or the next episode, I should say. It's probably going to be featuring me, but I do have some more topics and things we're going to get into as we progress throughout the season. We are going to have some guests. If you would like to be a guest yourself, definitely reach out to us either on Instagram. You can send an inquiry through our website as well. We'll get back to you. And yeah, I just thank you guys for sticking around, tuning in. And it's your girl Big T, Cloudy Conversations. We're out.